there's a lot of confusion among our friends on the left. They say they're socialists, but they don't even really understand what that means. Because socialism technically means government ownership of the means of production, government-run steel factories, collective farms. That's a really stupid way to run an economy, but fortunately, even left-wingers now usually don't mean that. What they really mean when they say socialism is they want high tax rates and a giant welfare state with lots of redistribution. Now, that might not be as stupid as true socialism, but it's still very bad economic policy, because if you tax people for being productive, if you tax them for creating wealth, creating jobs, making your economy more competitive, they're going to be less likely to do those good things. And on the other hand, if you're giving people lots of redistribution, guess what? They're less likely to work and to have independent, self-sufficient lives that actually have meaning and value and worth. So I'm very, very concerned that the modern left, even though they're not technically socialist, they're pursuing economic policies that really just drain the vitality out of an economy and just make it less competitive, less dynamic, and ultimately, who gets hurt by that? Low-income people. You need there to be growth. You need there to be dynamism to have a productive, growing economy that creates jobs for people at the bottom. Now, if you're a politician on the left and you get 60% of the people depending on the government, that's good news, because there's 60% of the people that might vote for you. But sooner or later, as more and more people sort of climb on the wagon of government dependency, and there are fewer and fewer people pulling the wagon, your society breaks down. And when you mix this giant welfare state with bad demographics, because all around the Western world, we're having fewer children, we're living longer, so there's going to be fewer workers to support this big, giant welfare state, and a lot of redistribution goes to older people like me. So I'm very concerned about the future of the United States. I'm very concerned about the future of Japan. I'm concerned about the future in Europe. A giant welfare state combined with unfavorable demographic trends of lots of old people and fewer young workers, that's just economic poison. And so I worry that the economic crisis that Greece faced back in, 2009, 2010, we're going to have economic crises like that in all sorts of other countries if we don't begin to control and reduce the burden of the welfare state. So forget old-fashioned socialism, the new socialism of just a giant welfare state, even though it's not technically socialism, it's just as damaging and just as threatening to long-run prosperity.